6, and here we are at Panera Bread in the morning before work, trying to get off the video. I'm going to review a game. One of the guys here is a master, and he is the 2021 champion. I interviewed him for Autobox on AAA League, so the best of the best, and he's doing very well this year as well. So I'd like to review. He gave this guy a 60 bid, so most of you will be surprised at that. But I've watched him give people 58 and 60 bids and still come out ahead. So let's see what he does with well, let's see what the Allied guy does, what they bid. So we look in the right panel over there. We see one infantry going into China, into Yunnan, and then lots going into England. I'm not impressed with the English bid, but we'll see what happens. 5 subs, 2 fighters, 1 mech, and 1 infantry. Okay, so 1 fighter Scotland, 1 fighter Malta, 1 fighter infantry Egyptian Sudan, 1 mech in Egypt. 799, 706, 710, 798, 791. Alright, what's Germany going to do? They're going to do 6 infantry, 3 artillery, which is pretty flexible for a Sea Lion, actually, turn 3, as well as a Moscow Crush. What's going to do? So you're going to notice that here he is what's called risk averse, and he is going to try and overwhelm the enemy, which is actually going to be the strategy for both sides. So they're not looking for 80% battles, they're looking for 100% battles. And the battle calculator over here, if I were to show you, I could show you a battle calculator that would indicate that. So they win the battle, 6, complete victory, a loss of 15 IPCs, 110 as well, it's a complete victory. Here's a surprising one. So the sub with a hit is the battleship, and the defenders get 2 hits, so he's going to take both hits on the battleships. So everything else. So far we have Germany with 20 IPCs lost. This IPC is let's just check out the IPC. The attack score is 24, so around 39. Okay, so let's see how the battle for this is full on everything you can bring here. Not worrying about Normandy, Bordeaux, not worrying about southern France. So pretty conservative play. The only thing he doesn't have here that he could have is some fighters. So what's he do? He gets most of them. First turn, for only 3 hits so far, 3 losses. So 8-3 is where the losses go. And I finished him off with 2 more losses, 5 infantry for we got battle score 38. So we are up above 38 and 39. So that's almost 80, 77. Yugoslavia, don't really count this one against the Allies because they're not really. So he will lose nothing. Loses nothing. So for this turn, he's lost a battleship and 5 infantry for over about $77 losses for the Allies. Pretty conservative play. He left the 111 fleet, which is a difficult fleet, by the way, to escape with. Only, look at this, he only puts 17 on the border. So obviously he's communicating to the Russians to come in next turn. It will not be a G2, it will be a G3. He does get $68. we got 70 if you tried for one of the Bordeaux or something in France. Okay, so the Russian player, he pretty conservative, standard play, staggers his fleet for a blocking move in 14, and then posts them back here. He does leave quite a bit in Leningrad. Actually makes it so that it's almost doable that he would move. And he draws back to Bryansk. In fact, it was a mistake. It almost makes it so that the Germans could push into, or maybe he's trying to bait that, because it would be a pretty close battle. So then places, and he does pull back, by the way, from the Soviet Far East. Clearly. The Bryansk one was on Bob's quarters. And keeping so many troops in Leningrad, I guess that bothers me a little bit. Since he's already got a blocker at 14, the transport there can't even reach even if it wanted to. So there's absolutely no reason to keep troops in Novgorod. So just seeing that as a mistake. Alright, so then we have the J1. Pretty unusual these days. A lot of people talking against it. But Andrew presses on the J1. And here we're going to see something amazing. So every one of these battles is really quite well thought out, orchestrated. So we're going to see a really bad luck. So let's go to the first battle. So here we have only one hit of the 6 dice. So again, overwhelming odds, twice as many plus the bombardments. So he gets, Americans get 3 hits. This is extraordinarily unlucky. And then Japanese only get 1 out of 3 as well. And they're going to actually get double hits. So all 5 dice rolled against Japanese 1. Pretty unusual. Over 100% possibility that would not happen. So, pretty unlucky. Which kind of gives credence to his desire to be risk averse. Now here in Hunan, I see him being a little not as risk averse. Good odds though. I mean, 2 infantry, he's got 5 units versus 2. Very likely going to get 2 hits. Very likely the Chinese players are only going to get 1. And that's what happens. Doesn't plan to take it. I don't think Huiteng was anything. This one was a little closer to than I would have thought he would have gone for, honestly. Lots of fighters, so we wanted to over first round of combat. That's one of the keys with some of these strategies is you need a first round of combat. Game, turn over, battle over, and that's what happens. And he takes the infantry. Okay, so that's it. Let's see where he results. 36 stack, I would assume. And hello. Hey Beth, how are you? Good. So a couple questions. When you said, okay, so let's continue with your review. After that, there's a direction. Just kidding. Here we go. So he collects $43, which is pretty high actually. But so it's J1, that's why. And are we set up for capturing the money odds? Turn 2. So we are not. because of that defeat in the Philippines. That is a serious stumbling block. Because those troops were supposed to be able to capture at least Celebes and maybe even Java. Um, so that is a serious stumbling block for the idea of grabbing the islands turn 2, which is preferable. There are 3 transports, but those will only reach the Philippines, not Celebes, Borneo, or Sumatra. I'm sorry, Java or Sumatra. So he is definitely looking at Plan B. And if we take a look at Guangxi, Yunnan's going to get wiped out, and there is no way he can kill or take over Yunnan next turn. Which means, if we think about this in terms of money, America is at war now. $2 for Philippines plus the $5 bonus. That's $7. Plus he didn't get the $2. That's a $9 difference from where he wanted to be. Plus over here in Yunnan. So obviously he, I guess I would assume, left Yunnan for another turn. So they're going to grab Yunnan and keep it $26. So that's some significant $15-ish that you would prefer that they did not have. So yeah, okay. So plans behind by about 15 NPCs in addition to the 60, right? Okay, so the Americans buy 2. No destroyers. So I thought this was an error. No destroyers first turn, and so there's no way to deal with these 3 subs, except for the British, and they better deal with it, right? So they better get lucky. They better not have the Philippines happen to them in 106. All right, let's go see what happens. So he's going to stack 54 a bit. He's going to scrambling fighters out of there. He's going to take Brazil, and he's going to stack Hawaii. So first he places here. Now he's going to change that around. Now he's got 2 planes scramble here, but let's remember that planes can't kill. Okay, planes can't kill subs unless you have destroyer present. So these are sitting ducks. If he doesn't take those German subs, just to let you know. So just circle around. Fairly good defense. If they attacked, Americans would win. Down here, no force can hit 54 because he didn't grab the naval base. That was good. And there are 2 American soldiers off that transport. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, what's China going to do? It's going to take back Yunnan, but not stack it. Now that is interesting. So, again, not knowing why he doesn't put all of this stuff in Yunnan. I guess he doesn't need to, but I think myself, I would have probably would put one with no panic right now in Yunnan. I might have even dispersed them to see Hope Chiao. Thinking this force here, Anhui is headed for Yunnan. Okay, let's see what the British do. They buy 4 infantry and 1 air base. Now that's really good, really interesting too. And I'll tell you why. So normally speaking, with this kind of air force posted in Western Germany, we've got 6 tanks, 3 artillery. We've got all the men needed for a 10 transport build to invade England. But we're going to see that he actually does Sebastian Air Base, and that's going to have the same effect. To have a huge navy, and that is also a sea line prevent. So let's see what he does. So he is going to make a full-fledged effort at eliminating all the stuff that's in his backfield, I would say. So let's take a look at that. So he attacks and gets good luck versus the. Now look at this. He took 4 units in versus 1. So that's some pretty conservative play, right? But he does lose the sub. Takes 4 against 3. This is a little closer. And he's got to get them all. And remember that the sub has to be hit by a ship. No, the sub casualties have to be ships. So he would have to get all those 1s in order to make this fail. But it better succeed, right? And it does. And in fact, it succeeds phenomenally with all 3 subs and no casualties for the. So right there's $18 plus the 15. So we are climbing up to 33. Here we go, easy pickings. Another 6, $33, $39. So then we also have 1 lost. Okay, and that was a 4v, 5v1. Okay, here we go, a little tighter battle. And that's going to be 6 misses first turn, including the 2. Nope, yeah, there is a bombard. A miss. So 7 misses first turn. He must have, his heart must have sank, right? Then he gets 1. Titans get 1. It's a little closer. 5v3. 2 hits. And he gets 2 hits. So now 2v1, I think. Now 3v1. And there it is. So we did some subtraction there. This is dead even bill, basically, with $1 maybe, if you want that. $1, 39, 40, 36, 39, 40. So right there, $40 for that versus the 77 that the Germans took away from the Allies. And he stacks Sebastian and places the airbase, does the runaway to Iceland. It's a pretty good move, actually, but not foolproof, especially if you had most of those. A cruiser at 112. Actually, I don't know why he didn't lose that 112. 3 plane scramble. Actually, how many planes can you scramble over there? Yeah, 3 plane scramble plus that. Alright, so let's keep going. Okay, so here we go. So 18 minutes here, reviewing the turns. He's going to drop in Algeria. That's interesting. Algeria is a great place to drop. I do like Algeria because it gets you to C-Zone 94, and then that gets you to Egypt, whereas Gibraltar doesn't. But, on the other hand, Gibraltar actually does get you to Egypt because he drops the airbase. So he places units. There he is. Sorry, excuse me. So this is the defense of England without dropping back 9 guys. And he gets $35. I will say that I thought this was a mistake going back from Burma to India. I don't know why he did that. There was 0 threat to India. And there was all the opportunity to move into Yunnan or to make it tough. Like, for instance, in a minute here, he's going to build a factory in French Indochina. I couldn't quite see why he did that. There you go. So, let's see. So, what else we have? So, let me just see. Okay, move the two up, took over the horn. He's got Sebastian, strong. He actually did pull troops out of the UK. I'm not sure I would have done that. Two transports. Yeah, that's two transports. Oh, he pulled people out of. Oh, he pulled people out of Egypt. Oh. Alright, we'll see if that's genius or a mistake. So the submerges is interesting by Andrew A. Gamer plus the mech. What's he do? He's going to take up the French fleet. He's going to stack 97 with 3-point scramble. Take out Greece, earn some money. Let's see if he does preemptively get an anti-aircraft over to France. And infantry. He punches in Libya so he can keep this as a threat. So you know expansion potential.
Okay. So
11 ISs. No, notice no cannibal up to Slovakia. I mean, up to Germany or to Slovakia. Okay, so what else? So this is the allied guy, and he's going to take that's New Guinea and stack of 54. Nope, he's going to go to Java. Stack there. Aircraft got the infantry and drops the fighter. He wants to get some fighters over there to Shan State or to good solid move. And move to Alexandria as well as the move to Shan State. Okay. And the French go and do. Okay. And he attacks that. Good moves. Alright. That is a review of turn 1 of 60 big games for the Allies. And there's the Andrew A. Gamer, expert player. And the best in 2021 out of box on the league and best.